There was a legend that no one dared to speak of, a legend that whispered through the streets and echoed in the dark corners of the land. The legend told of the death's messengers, mysterious figures who appeared when the end of life was near. They were neither human nor spirit, but something in between, silent, shadowy figures who brought messages from the afterlife. In the kingdom, people lived in constant fear of the messengers. They were never seen during the day, but as dusk fell, strange things began to happen. People would hear soft knocks at their doors, the sound of footsteps in the hallways, and whispers that couldn't be explained. Those who encountered the messengers would often fall ill or pass away shortly after. Some said the messengers carried the souls of the departed, while others believed they were the bringers of doom, cursed to deliver death itself. The villagers tried everything to protect themselves. They placed charms on their doors, burned herbs to ward off evil spirits, and even hired priests to cast protective spells. But no matter what they did, the messengers would come, appearing only to those who were destined to die. The most fearful of all was the town's wise elder, Mama Uwa, who had lived in the village for many decades. Mama Uwa was the keeper of the stories, the one who knew the old ways and had seen more than most could imagine. Yet even she was not immune to the messengers. One fateful evening, as the sun began to set and the sky turned a deep red, Mama Uwa felt a cold breeze sweep through her home. She knew what it meant. Death's messengers were near. Mama Uwa had lived a long life, filled with love, wisdom, and sorrow. She had seen many people come and go, and she had always known that death was inevitable. But there was one thing she didn't know. Why did the messengers come? What did they want? That night, as the village grew quiet, the soft knock on Mama Uwa's door came. She stood up slowly, her heart pounding in her chest. She opened the door, and there, standing in the shadows, was a figure cloaked in black. The figure did not speak, but its presence was heavy, filled with an eerie calm. Mama Uwa, who had always faced death with dignity, stared into the figure's dark hood. "You have come for me," she said, her voice steady despite the fear she felt. "But I have lived a full life. I am ready." The messenger remained silent, its face hidden in the darkness. It extended a hand, and in its palm lay a small, intricately carved box. Mama Uwa reached for it, trembling but resolute. As her fingers touched the box, a cold wind swept through the room, and the messenger whispered, barely audible, "The time is near, but you must first understand your own truth." Mama Uwa's heart skipped a beat. "What truth?" she asked, confused. The messenger remained silent for a long moment, as if considering her question. Then it slowly withdrew, fading into the darkness without a word, leaving Mama Uwa standing there, holding the box in her hands. Unsure of what to do, Mama Uwa went inside and sat down. She opened the box slowly, revealing a small mirror inside. The mirror wasn't ordinary. It shimmered with a strange light, and as she looked into it, she saw not her own reflection, but the faces of everyone she had loved and lost over the years. There were the faces of her children, her friends, and her family, all of them smiling at her, as if they were still alive. In that moment, she realized something she had never fully understood before. Death was not something to fear. It was simply a part of the cycle of life. The messengers didn't bring doom, they brought understanding. They didn't come to steal life, they came to remind the living that life and death were intertwined and that every soul had its time. With this realization, Mama Uwa closed the box, feeling at peace for the first time in many years. The messengers didn't bring death because they were cruel. They brought death because they were guides. Guides to the other side, to help the departed move on and remind the living that death was not an end, but a beginning. The next morning, When the villagers came to check on Mama Uwa, they found her lying peacefully in her bed, a contented smile on her face. The messengers had come for her, and she had understood their message. From that day forward, the villagers no longer feared the messengers. Instead, they greeted them with respect, knowing that each visit was a reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of living with love and wisdom. The legend of the messengers remained, but it was no longer one of fear. It was a legend of understanding, teaching the people that death was simply the other side of the same coin. And as long as they lived with kindness and wisdom, they too would know peace when their time came.